Oh, you got some pie, eh? Can I have a piece?
Sure.
Ooh, let me have some of that Cool Whip.
What'd you say?
You can't have a pie without Cool Whip.
Cool Whip?
Cool Whip, yeah.
You mean Cool Whip?
Yeah, Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
You're saying it weird. Why are you putting so much emphasis on the H?
What are you talking about? I'm just saying it. Cool Whip. You put Cool Whip on pie. Pie tastes better with Cool Whip.
Say whip.
Whip.
Now say Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
You're eating hair!
Welcome back, everyone.
Hello. I got scared. I dropped my Hot Pocket.
I'm drinking rum.
It's Rum and Nerdy.
I'm drinking rum.
The time has come.
I'm drinking rum.
So grab a glass, some ice, your bottle, 'cause we're about to drink some rum.
Kicking like I usually do, drinking.
I'm drinking rum.
Here's Greg and Garrick.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Rum and Nerdy. I'm Greg.
And I'm Garrick.
And this is episode 5.07. And it is a 1971 Pontiac LeMans.
As driven by Gene Hackman in the very famous car chase from The French Connection, 1971.
Yes. So breaking news as of yesterday for the airing of this episode, Gene Hackman and his wife and dog were all found deceased in their New Mexico home.
Yeah.
And as of yet, they haven't necessarily released a statement, but they says it's suspicious enough that the circumstances surrounding the death of the two deceased individuals are considered to be considered suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation. Apparently, his wife was found in the bathroom with a space heater and an empty bottle of pills with the dog.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Other than the headline, I didn't read into it at all.
Yeah, I haven't heard much more than that. I know in our chat earlier, it's like there was a speculative, maybe it was like carbon monoxide or something.
Yeah. It's just weird when two elderly people and a house pet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's crazy. And I mean, I know he was getting up there, like
95.
95.
What was your favorite Gene Hackman movie?
Oh, Superman.
Superman?
Superman, without a doubt. I always loved him as Lex Luthor. I've judged every Lex Luthor since 1978.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair because you're right. He is much like Jack Nicholson's Joker is very iconic. I think Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor is iconic. I didn't realize going over his IMDb. I didn't realize he was in Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, wasn't he like a salesman or something?
He played the blind man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, French Connection 2, Superman 2, Hoosiers, obviously.
Yeah, classic movie.
Superman 4, The Quest for More Money.
The Hoosiers was that movie growing up that like whenever my school, whenever we had like a teacher work day or whatever, we're like, hey, just watch a movie, we're working. It was always Hoosiers.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because you can see the films that he's in start to get just their quality density just starts to get really high. The Firm, Geronimo, Wyatt Earp, The Quick and the Dead, Crimson Tide. Oh, Get Shorty. Why do I not remember him? Get Shorty. Oh, The Birdcage. Love The Birdcage.
Oh yeah.
Love The Birdcage. That is a dynamite movie.
Replacements. That was good. The football movie, Replacements.
Oh, yeah. Ants.
He was in Ants?
He was in Ants.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Wyatt Earp, yeah, there's that.
He was in Twilight. Look at that. Well, it can't all be perfect.
Well.
Ooh, The Mexican.
That was a good movie.
That was a good movie.
That was.
Royal Tenenbaums. Like, he's got some great stuff in there.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Royal Tenenbaums, too. That was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, listen, it's a loss. It's a loss. He was a wonderful actor. But 95, you know what? We should all be so lucky.
That's a good run.
Yeah.
My goal is 96.
Yeah?
Because I want to see the tricentennial quarter.
That's weird because I was thinking about that yesterday. Something referenced the 76. Somebody was talking about the 76ers.
I remember when I was a kid and I discovered that the bicentennial drummer boy quarter existed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like mind blown. Like, oh shit, they put something different on a quarter. This is amazing. When's the next one coming out? In 100 years. I did the math. I'm like, shit. Okay, I'm gonna be 96 years old. I got to do it. I got to see a different quarter for the second time. And then they did this special thing with quarters somewhere. What, in the fucking 90s? We're like, you know what? We're just gonna make every state gets a quarter, and then every state park gets a quarter, and then every person that has ever guest starred in SNL gets a quarter. Like there's no such thing as a common quarter anymore. So
and now they're getting rid of the penny.
So getting rid of the penny, whatever. So it's a little lackluster, but hopefully we'll still have a national mint in
penny
40 years, whatever.
Yeah, Sandy and I were talking about the penny thing.
Are you really bad about the penny?
I'm not. I don't even use change at all. I think most people don't. I remember a few years ago, the first time I remember it coming up that, hey, with the prices of everything, pennies don't really mean jack shit.
Well, that and the cost of making a penny is more than a penny.
Yeah.
It's like we're spending 3.5 cents to make 1 cent. It's
But there was, I remember back in the day, there was this thing where like the basic rounding of goods to get rid of needing a penny is actually a pretty significant increase in costs, because nobody's going to like round down.
No. Of course, with the price of inflation now, it's
penny isn't a whole lot, but it's interesting when you see it kind of go that way, and I would not be surprised if fairly soon we just see it go to like quarters.
I can't even tell you the because cash transactions are so low. I can't tell you the amount of times of non-change. I can't tell you how many times have not been a non-change cash transaction for me. It's usually, like if you're paying cash to a waitress or a bartender or something, it's like,
just round up.
Just round up, keep the change. I don't want to see.
Yeah.
Don't give me coins back.
Yeah, I've got.
And you never see the change.
I've got widgets and challenge coins in my pocket. I don't need that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, totally agree. That's a thing, but I see a world where it's just 100% digital. Most people do that anyway. Even like I was in LA, this week.
Yeah.
Parking meters take cards.
Oh yeah, God yeah. Little QR code on the thing.
Yeah.
Scan this code. Tell us your license plate. Automatically link it to a credit card. Boom.
Yeah. Done.
Park here all day.
Done. Yeah. Anyway, so speaking of LA.
Before we speak of LA, do you want to drink some rum? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I may have walked all the way downstairs to get this.
Yeah, you had a good. Yeah, and what would you do? You walk in the room. We ain't fucking around.
There's no rum here. We need more rum. Where's the rum?
Plantaray, cut and dry. Noise.
The coconut rum.
For the uninitiated, the Plantaray cut and dry is the pineapple, or not the pineapple. It's the coconut.
Coconut.
That really, it tastes like Almond Joy Mountains. Is freaking fantastic.
I was doing 2 cubes and a splash of rum.
Do it. So, speaking of just since we're talking about it, Monday night I got to go to our buddy Chuck's new experiential dining.
Oh yeah,
venue.
How was that?
Really cool. I mean, it officially opens today. Today, not recording today.
Yeah.
It officially opens downtown Los Angeles.
Friday, February 28th.
Yeah, it's
2025.
It's like 4 blocks up from LA Live, downtown LA.
Okay.
Called the Gallery.
Okay.
Walk in. There's a nice lobby, a really cool bar. The walls are kind of scenic out with these miniature building facades. And the really cool thing is a bunch of the windows have little screens in them, and you see like people walking around doing things inside these facades.
So what exactly is the kind of the central theme of this dining experience?
When you go into the main dining room, there's seats. It's projection mapping onto the table itself, and it's a 5-course meal based around the 5 elements, like earth, fire, wind,
Heart.
water, and ether, I think is what they do.
Ether.
Ether is just like this, the energy between matter kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know the abstract of ether.
Yeah. Ether's dessert.
Versus the ether.
Yeah. No, in this case, ether is dessert. Which was, I don't know, it was weird. It was kind of this tapioca thing on the outside. It was like ringed, and then on the inside is this purple stuff. And it made me think of like, eat the gray stuff. It's delicious. This was delicious, by the way. It kind of tasted like a lavendery kind of custard with a tapioca around the outside. It's really interesting.
Cool.
Main course for fire was like a prime rib with these little mushrooms, and that was really good.
Nice.
Yeah, but overall, they've got a character, a host that kind of walks around in between courses and does stuff. And then there's a bit of the magic, the show. And then while you're eating, once, they do the show and then all the servers come out and, everything's plated and they put it down in front of you.
Yeah.
That what's going on your table is interactive. You can, like when it's fire, you touch it and there's embers that come up. And when it's earth, you touch it and flowers grow around your hands. And pretty cool.
Nice.
You look a little confused in your facial expression.
I'm not. I'm imagining it in my mind.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away in the description.
No, that's fair.
But it's fun that you can kind of interact with it. Chuck's partner Darren, who's a friend of ours as well.
Yeah.
He and I, as I was walking out of the conference, because we were there for a conference. Yesterday, as I was walking out of the conference, I saw him and he asked me what I thought. And I gave him a couple notes. And I was at a dinner on Tuesday night, and it was kind of like widely accepted that, one, they're just open.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't classify any of the notes that we gave them as, you need to fix this before you open. It was more like,
hey, you know what? The monkeys, a little gratuitous.
No, it wasn't anything that bad. But it was more like you have literally the people that he invited for this special event are the most discerning eyes in the industry.
Oh yeah,
sitting there in that room, literally everybody's an art director, so everybody kind of had a little notes here and there. But the general attendee to this would never notice most of this.
Yeah,
and a lot of things were ones that they had kind of noted too, little things that they want to tweak and stuff. But
he had an experiential dining facility peer reviewed before opening.
Yeah, but realistically, the experience right now, I think for the first month or so, I don't know exactly. Don't quote me, anybody. But I think the first month it's going to be discounted a little bit on the ticket, just to kind of get a little bit of extra movement.
Yeah, get people through the door.
But the standard ticket, $200. It's a 5-course meal, including alcohol, for downtown LA.
That's
now,
not bad.
4 blocks up, to go there. We first had a couple drinks at JW Marriott next to LA Live.
Yep.
I had two drinks. That was a single cube with plantation. It was just one of the fancier aged ones. I forgot which one. And
it might be critical to the story.
It's not, but what is like I was downtown LA, had 2 drinks, and when I paid those drinks, including tip, it was $58. So in that same market, that same neighborhood, to go up the street, have a 5-course meal with drinks for $200.
Yeah.
There's no complaining there. I think it's a really good intersection of downtown LA for a price. It's a fun time.
What's it called?
The Gallery.
The Gallery.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and again, it's cool. It's the mixologist, or I don't know if it's the mixologist, the head bartender, or the beverage manager, or whatever. But when we first got there, I went a little earlier with Chuck down there to kind of walk around and get a little bit of a tour, meet some of his other teams that I had, team members there that worked on it with him, and they're the gentleman behind the bar. They have a signature cocktail on their menu that is a rum drink, but it's more complex than this. But it's rum, bullet rye, and pineapple juice.
I could see that working.
It was magical.
What kind of rum?
Do Goslings.
Ooh. I could really see that working.
The between the pineapple and the alcohol, the strength of the alcohol is really canceled out, and the pineapple juice, I can only describe as almost like creamy. The drink was kind of this very
made
smooth,
the pineapple juice creamy.
not like not like texture, but it's just like
it smooths
on the
it out.
palate. It was just like
Because pineapple
Wow.
juice has a bite. It has a
had that acid.
known bite, and
wasn't there.
Wow.
Yeah, it had some bitters in it, and then I want to say they took some nutmeg and cinnamon and ground it over the glass. It wasn't like powdered.
Yeah,
they
like
actually took it. But I had to have a second one. It was a wonderful drink.
Wow.
Overall, again, wonderful drink. Our wonderful experience. Super happy with. I really recommend it to everybody.
The gallery.
Yeah, and I would say I'm surprised by the price. If it were me, I would easily see this going for $250 or maybe a little higher of that.
Yeah.
Especially because downtown LA, all those offerings down there are very expensive. So I thought it was a good value. And
If you do like flex pricing, hot Friday night versus Wednesday afternoon or something like that.
well, they do because it's you can't. It's not just like a walk-in.
Yeah.
It's a sitting because of the show, and they do 2 a night.
Oh, cool.
So there's like an early sitting and a later one, and I think that they eventually want to expand on that, and I'm sure that over the because it's a brand new concept. This is not something they opened from somewhere else. This is they created it from nothing.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt, knowing Chuck and Darren, that over the coming months and weeks and even years, they're gonna keep fine tuning that over and over, and then I'm sure menu items are going to be seasonal. So
turn into a workable model you can transfer to other.
Oh, I have no doubt that they want
locations,
to expand and do other locations. I believe that wholeheartedly. But the idea that I think because he was saying like Friday's dinner or Friday's menu,
Yeah.
they order the ingredients for Friday on Wednesday. So it's that fresh,
Yeah.
and it's very targeted because everything's booked in your reservation. So you have a really good idea of what it is that you're cooking.
Operationally, it makes your life a lot easier.
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah.
you do a ticketed dinner versus
Well, and it's the ingredients are that much fresher.
yeah.
You don't have to worry about wastes. You don't have to worry about a lot of that stuff. But it's I find it to be really good. Plus, it gives their head chef the opportunity for seasonal changes, and mix up the menu a little bit. All of the menu and the courses go back to the theme, but those themes give you endless possibilities of what you could be cooking with them. So I think that helps long term with its repeatability. When you know that the menu changes, so for that price point, I see people doing a lot of those kind of LA locals doing it as special occasion celebrations. I think it's one that the kids would enjoy because I wouldn't take very young kids. I personally wouldn't, but like teenagers, because the interactivity of the tables, I think it's great. Well
Nice.
done for Chuck and the team. It was really, really good.
I'm looking forward to checking that out.
Yeah.
That's a new icon thing to do.
Well, and since you and I are going to be in LA in 15 days or whatever it is
Yeah.
that we had out there,
I don't know if we're gonna have enough time.
We won't.
But we won't. Yeah.
yeah, because I know we're supposed to go to the cigar bar the day we get in.
Which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, and then that's going to be Tuesday night, and then we get to Wednesday and it's Inspire and Gala, and then
Inspire and Gala and
then
all
we'll
that
come
fun
back.
stuff. Yeah.
in past years we've stuck around for that extra day and done a park.
Just can't do it.
Just too much. Life is too busy.
Too much going on.
But we'll commit to doing a recording while we're out there.
Yeah. No, we'll absolutely be able to grab. Hopefully, it won't be as big of a shit show as Inspired recordings in years past. But
I kind of liked last year doing it. That last minute in the lobby was fun.
That was fun.
We had a lot of people kind of surprised stopping by. We didn't have like technical issues. It was a little loud.
It was a little loud.
Outside of
but
that, this is so good.
I know. Isn't this delicious? This is such a good rum.
Oh,
The entire Plantaray lineup is just
Anyway, yeah. So that was Monday night. The conference was the Triple E concert.
Conference.
Yeah. And that's sometimes Interface Conference Group, which is part of France Media. And the guy that started that, he's got a lot of magazines for different industries, a lot of them in real estate.
Okay. What is Triple E?
Triple E is Entertainment Experience Evolution. Now, a lot of what they do is in the real estate commercial developer world, as far as a lot of that. So, we talk about it personally. We talk about it in the industry. I'm sure we've mentioned on the air that we've seen trends that retail is really struggling.
Yeah,
especially like big box. Now, Walmarts and Targets, sure, fine, they're going to survive. But when you see the Macy's and JCPenney's and Dillard's and like those things are really struggling. Those are the anchors to malls. Malls are struggling. So what this group identified that this was the 10th year for the conference, and they basically partnered up with the LBE industry and said, let's do a conference where developers, construction companies, like real estate management firms can come in and sit and learn what is LBE and what are these trends saying, and to discuss panel discussions where people are talking about new concepts. And it's really, really interesting. It's my second year. Last year felt like this year I enjoyed more. I thought the lineup, the content was much more developed in regards to insights and trends.
Yeah.
Last year felt a little bit more on presentations of look what I built kind of things. Which was fine because I like it. For their context, it is case studies. For my context, it's like I'm there to get clients and figure out how I can help people out.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. But like, have you heard of Chicken and Pickle?
No, it's Chicken and Pickle.
It's it's a bar food and pickleball.
Oh, interesting.
And
okay.
pickleball, hugely popular around the country. I haven't seen a lot of it in Orlando, but I know like in the Midwest, it's like huge, especially these places that you can go and do it inside. Pickleball is apparently kind of like tennis-ish, but smaller.
Isn't the place in Sanford that had the backyard or the back garden or out back or whatever the fuck, that bar in Sanford that has the big outdoor space? There. Yeah. Didn't they have a pickleball?
They might have
thing as part of their. I don't know.
I don't remember, but I don't know. It was cool, like Chicken and Pickle, that brand, that experience, born in Kansas City, and as it is, there was also the Field House, I think it was called. It was another brand. Also out of Kansas City. There was like I was surprised at how many of these dining concepts, or food and beverage concepts that you hear about, like really like kind of a lot of them came from Kansas City. There was one panel that had 6 people on stage talking about trends and
what
their
didn't
concept.
come from Kansas City,
right? All the good things did, but yeah, but it was good. The morning of the first day, the keynote was the guy that created Rainforest Cafe. And his story's fantastic. It's so fun.
Is it? Does it explain why he puts fucking coconut on their chicken fingers?
No, but he does like explore. He did talk about like where kids were like, how come it's like this? Because like, why are like elephants don't live in the rainforest? They live in the the Serengeti or whatever. But
yeah.
He talked through that process where it took a few years to develop it and get people to believe in him and what he wanted to do. And he had done all these build outs on his personal house. And at one point there was a police raid. I didn't really catch all of the story, but there was a police raid at his house because his house had 10 times the electrical consumption of any other house in the area. And so they thought that there was like a growing something in the basement, or that there was some kind of shenanigans because he was using so much electricity.
Turns out, nope, I'm just making these animatronic elephants.
Yeah, and like little gadgets in his bedroom and fun things and whimsical.
Wow.
So just this kind of crazy guy. But this guy went on to do T-Rex Cafe,
which is the last of the cafes I visited and enjoyed greatly.
Yak and Yeti is his.
I'm not familiar with that one.
That one, I want to say, is in Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
And then the Boathouse at Disney Springs was his.
Oh, no shit.
And he's got another concept that he announced this week, and I forgot the name of it, but it's surrounding Art Deco and all of the different like cities and times and places, live jazz music, or that kind of stuff. Really cool, funky live music venue based around the Art Deco style.
Nice. Well, that's awesome.
So
I didn't realize he was the same guy that did Boathouse.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Nice.
But
well,
he was,
I have a fun offline story for you then.
You've told me about it. You've told me that story, and I was thinking about it when he came.
When you're meeting up, and you're like, "Oh,
yeah.
you're that dude."
But it's funny because he was talking about with the Boathouse those boat car things and like
the amphibicars.
Yeah, and he by the way, for any fans of Disney Springs, he didn't invent those. That's a thing.
Oh yeah,
and he had to go search the world for 18 of them or whatever.
Yeah, that was an actual car you could really buy. Every now and then you see them on eBay and Facebook Marketplace and.
Well, apparently they cost him anywhere between like 18,000 and 70,000 a piece.
They're really
depending on the condition.
They're really freaking cool.
Yeah,
like they're cool as shit.
And then they restored them all and everything else, and everybody thought he was nuts. And we're like, this is going to lose so much money, and he makes bank.
They're booked constantly. Booked. I've been trying to. I went down there with my daughter. I'm like, hey, do you want to? Because she likes watching cars. I'm like, hey, do you want to watch these cars drive into a lake? And she's like, you're full of shit, Dad.
Yeah.
Like, no, come here. And we watched them.
First cuss word.
We watched them drive in and out of the lake on that little ramp. And she's like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, you want to go? She's like, no way. No. And that's when you're talking.
You like it?
When you're talking
Want some more? Yes, please.
Yeah. When you're talking to a 5-year-old, you want a commitment to the boat ride because it's like, oh, if you lose your shit in the middle of this lake, there's not a whole lot of options. You gotta stick the landing on that one. So
yeah,
I'm waiting for her to be a little older because I want to do it. I want to do it really bad.
And again, I forgot the guy's name. Super impressed. This guy, amazing story behind it, and it's funny because like so intuitive. Like it's not like he went to school for this. The concepts and what people want and what they enjoy. He really kind of got the sense of it, the food program, and then the merchandise. So I think it's T-Rex Cafe. Mm-hmm. When they opened that, he went to the company that does Build-A-Bear and was like, hey, we want to do a Build-A-Bear thing over there. And they're like, and they went back and forth, and finally he convinced them, okay, whatever, we'll give it a try. And that is 50% of the merchandising, or no, it's more than like, they have, I don't know what he said. It was like 800 different things of merch and keychains and blah, blah, blah. And that is more than half their revenue from merchandising.
I can believe it.
And don't quote me on this, but I think he implied that like it is one of Build-A-Bear's most financially successful locations anywhere in their chain. So it's like super worked out.
That's incredible.
And like it's just a smart, intuitive.
Having gone to T-Rex Cafe fairly recently, and purchased really, trinkety. My 5-year-old wants this plastic lizard thing.
Lizard.
Yeah, that's funny. That's cool as hell.
Yeah. So, it was a great conference. Really enjoyed it. Our buddy Val with Freckled Sky.
Yeah.
He was a keynote yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Freckled Sky does some amazing stuff like that.
Yeah, Val and his team's super creative. I'd love to do a project with him.
Yeah.
I was looking for his card too, but I met the head of global licensing for Sega.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I feel like I need to punch him for stealing my childhood, but okay.
Wait, please explain.
Oh no, it's just I played way more Sonic the Hedgehog or NBA Jam than I probably should have.
Gotcha.
Were you a Genesis guy?
No. I mean, I played it at friend's house. I did not own one. I was always the Nintendo.
You were always in Nintendo, so you went to the 64, the Super, the
I
or regular.
I had the regular and the super. I didn't get the 64. I had eventually. I think one day I had a GameCube. I kind of got away from it just because I was too busy. And then when I did get back in, I got in for the PlayStation.
The Sega story is pretty outstanding. They poached a guy from Nintendo, and they're like, "Hey, look at our thing," and they had like some clandestine meeting in Hawaii.
Yeah,
and they like found him on a beach, and they're like, "Hey, come here and check out this thing." And the 64-bit, was it 64-bit, 32-bit, whatever. The Sega Genesis was just mind blowing at that point.
Well, he was on stage at one of the presentations as well, and they kind of showed the video of all the different things that they're involved in and what have you. And like Sega as the game system, like they still make games. I think it's more arcadey stuff, but
yeah. I mean, they have a big presence at IAPA every year.
Yeah, because they're in our space.
Yeah.
They're in our space, like
absolutely
loud and proud. So, so but he spoke to how the Sonic movies, like they have just really expanded what their licensing can do and everything else. And again, super great guy. I mean,
that's cool. I was reading a thing about that the other day where the Sonic movies, they didn't think the Sonic movies would have done as well as they had done overall if they had gotten the Sonic CGI character correct from the beginning. Because they fucked up the Sonic character in the movies.
Oh, yeah?
And there was the fan outcry to redo the animation of the character to make it look more like the animated character from the games and not just the made-up bullshit that the movie did.
Yeah.
They said that sort of fan outreach thing is what elevated the movie to be as popular as it is. Because they're at, like, what, 3 of them now?
Yeah, and the third one's in theater now, and it's like crossed $500 million.
Yeah, and they're, spoiler alert, they're fun movies.
I haven't watched any of them.
They're fun movies. You sit down and, I think one of them is on Prime. Like the first 1 or 2 are on Prime or Netflix or something. Like just, talk in your remote control and ask for the Sonic movie and you'll find it. You will not be disappointed. I stand by my words. You will enjoy it.
So, just for like reference on some of this stuff for these panels, let's see. So, they had a panel offerings in movie theaters and just how movie theaters are kind of expanding. But they had like the guy from...
Do you need a place to host your next PowerPoint presentation? Use our big screen.
It's way more than that. It's like, hey, come watch the Super Bowl here. Come do this. What like they're really kind of...
and that's what digital projection has done to the market.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
because film projection, you're limited. Digital, hey, if you think it, we can throw it on that giant ass screen. So.
Right. So here's one of the panels: making retail tick with entertainment insights from leading retail landlords. Warehouse Cinema, Colin Properties, Area 15. Winston was there for that. Let's see, Senner Company. So but it's like some really good ones there. Then there was the social entertainment with broad market appeal, and they had like the guy from the Museum of Ice Cream. Let's see, Alorium, Chuck was there. He was cool. And then the guy I just met, Matthew, who was from Emerging Concepts, was great.
Very nice.
Let's see, other people we know. Carol from Pac-Man Entertainment. So there's like lots of really, really, really cool stuff going on as far as that. Like Jonathan Casson from Sony. That's a guy we know.
Yep.
That was out there, and it was just some really good. Like they had a couple in there that were like, wow, like they got some really, really cool people. Val.
Yep.
And then I'm trying to find the guy from Sega. Oh, this was from Mammoth Fieldhouse. Toka Social, which is like a soccer concept, food and beverage that's taken off in Europe. It's looked really, really amazing. Snow Partners, Lumos, which was a really cool concept. Again, came out of Kansas City.
Is that Brian Marakian?
Yep, Brian was there from Populous. Our buddy Brian. He's been on the show, actually.
He's been on the show.
He's been on the show. Face Amusements, Lumos, Breakthrough, the guy from Breakthrough was there. And then, let's see. expanding entertainment concepts. That was where Brian is in on that. And yeah, it was really, really good. And then they kind of wrapped up with Free from Myco too.
Yeah.
She wrapped up
Super
the
cool.
second day.
Look
second
at
day.
that.
Yeah, and it was good. It was intimate. Made a lot of different connections on really interesting projects coming up. Mm-hmm. And then, like, one of the times, just sitting there, and I just ended up talking with this guy that worked for a municipality for a suburb of Denver.
Okay.
And he was talking about
which suburb of Denver?
I want to say he said it was kind of, and I don't remember the name, but it was nestled kind of over near where the airport is, but it's like the MLS soccer stadium is in their municipality.
Okay.
And so he and I had a great conversation about how, LA Live, with the stadium and everything else, the basketball stadium downtown, that kind of concept where they surround it with all of these high concept food and beverage offerings and retail and things like that. Like
the sports entertainment district concept. Yeah.
Because they were trying to like, hey, like, what do we do to increase jobs, development, tax revenue from people coming there?
Yeah.
And so we had a really insightful conversation about, it's one of those things, like, once you have a venue, the great thing about a venue like a soccer stadium or a football stadium, any kind of sports,
any stadium,
the really good thing about that is, like, you have a place that people have, as a generality, have committed. I'm making an effort to go to this place because I'm having a night out. I'm doing this thing. And a lot of people, when they go and do that, these concepts that open up around those do really, really well, because it's like, no, I'm going down to do a concert there or a sporting event there or whatever. We're going to go to dinner. We're going to do this or whatever. So it inherently is a place that traffic is driven to by the base DNA of what they are. And how do you monopolize that? And it's not just the concepts, but you working with the owner-operator for the stadium itself to make sure that there are year-round offerings to drive that traffic.
Absolutely.
And it benefits everybody. So
it really does. You're partially tapping into the tailgating market. You're partially tapping into the the overflow market of just when you have a large venue. I mean, how many people go to a stadium? A big stadium. How many tens of thousands of people are there?
Yeah, most of them are 45 to 60,000.
And then when they leave
for football,
it's hey, I'm going to hang out. I'm going to hang out before the game, maybe grab a few drinks. Hey, I could hang out in this parking lot, or here's this fan experience, sports entertainment district thing I could spend time in. And and the other side of it is leaving the event. I need traffic to clear out. Hey, let's go over to that place and hang out for a little bit and let traffic clear. And it's
right.
Stadiums are really leveraging those districts.
Yeah. Everywhere. And it's a whole
every
emerging cornerstone of LBE world.
Absolutely. We did a study a while back, and it was, hey, every single stadium in the United States is going to have a district associated with it that is specifically for these LBE offerings.
Well, and we've talked within the industry too, is sports entertainment. The stadium itself is location-based entertainment.
It is.
And the evolution of sports entertainment where, and we see it a few years ago, you and I had the fortunate opportunity to go to the first sporting event ever at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Georgia.
Thank you, TEA.
Thank you, TEA. And we had the opportunity to have a little talk-back conversation down in one of their conference rooms in the lower levels, and then a tour. Not a really in-depth tour because there was a sporting event going on. But
the first one, actually.
The first one. And the really, really great thing about that was hearing them talk about things like, sporting events right now are just terribly expensive. When we were kids, you could go to a football game for like $30, $40. Nowadays, it's $300, $350.
It's crazy.
And up from there, depending on the sport and how well the team is. And but they intentionally had set aside some parts of those stadiums that were there for less expensive tickets. The food offerings in those areas were more affordable, where at the same time you could go up 2 levels and get a gourmet burger with special fancy cheese and arugula and sauce, or you could just get burger, chicken things. So they were very, very purposeful for that, but not just on the food and beverage. The thing that really took me there is that they understood what is the next evolution stadium is, and they put one of the, if not the most robust access point internet infrastructure than you can find in any other stadium, because they knew that moving forward, everybody's got their phones, and if you put the infrastructure there, eventually you can gamify the experience through an app or specialty product.
And they were already banking on that, because hey, every fan that's there, they're not just watching this game, they're on FanDuel or their fantasy league, or they're interacting with other things. My favorite stat from that talk was the issue they came up with where fans weren't sitting in their seats. The stadium is beyond capacity from an attendance standpoint, but when you're watching the games live on TV, half the stadium looks empty because everyone is in one of the concierge areas or the thing, and which is where they developed the whole idea of, hey, you can buy a ticket to the stadium, you don't have a seat. So their seats come down, can come down in price a little bit, but people can go hang out at the bar, and I don't know. It's interesting because more butts, less seats, I guess.
And there's a lot of ways you can do that. You can just there's a lot of places and ways that you can watch the sporting event, but just the energy of being there. Yeah. And say you have a few kids, so you got a family of 4, 5, 6, and get 3 tickets and rotate out. Like, hey, go do this experience, or go over here, go get some food and watch the game from the railing at the restaurant. And Mercedes-Benz, they do a great job of that. It is a stadium for any event for all.
Yeah.
And that's the evolution. That's where everything's going. So super impressed with that. And I don't know. I don't think it brings us, when we talk about this kind of conference and all these different concepts and things, like one thing I know I don't, and I'm sure you're like me, we take it for granted that we have insight and access to so much of this world. And there's this impression that you're theme parks. No, man, what we do is so much broader.
Yeah, when you talk experiential, it's not just theme parks. It's anytime you have a guest interaction.
And it's the engagement, the interactivity side of that is permeating into dining, into retail, into commercial spaces.
Yeah.
That experiential part of life, which has just grown. When we growing up, we didn't have things like the gallery.
No.
We didn't have that. We didn't have adrenaline. We didn't have, to us, experiential dining was Red Lobster has a lobster tank, and you can pick your lobster. I mean, that was it.
Hey, there's wood. There's wood trusses everywhere. We kind of feel like we're at a marina.
Right. So, or it's like
wood paneling. Am I on a boat?
Yeah. 8 spices. What? Some of these must be repeats. Sorry, throw a Simpsons reference. So, So I think you remember the episode, Marge at that craft fair. 8 different spice rack that holds 8.
Some of these must be repeats.
Oregano. What the heck?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think that was the chili cook-off episode.
It feels like it would have been.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Anyway, so that was Triple E. It was a good conference. I recommend it to people. It's not for everybody in our industry. It's specifically people in development.
Yeah.
That's a development conference. So, super excited.
Yeah. Cool.
But that was what I did.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah. Flew out Monday morning, came back last night.
I'm
a little bit irritated.
That's a quick LA trip.
Oh, yeah. It's but I have to say, so I got to the airport at 4:30 Monday morning. 4:30 a.m. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was mid-drink on that one and just...
Our flight to LA in 15 days, same flight.
God damn it. Fuck, really?
I know, but it's like...
Really?
But it gives us the whole day there to get a lot of stuff done.
Fine.
So, but...
damn it.
I land at like 8:30 in the morning. I got to LA at 8:30 in the morning. But here's my problem for anybody associated with the Orlando International Airport and their parking. I got there at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I arrived last night. I landed early at like 11:45.
Yep.
Touched like wheels to the ground.
Yeah.
Taxied, whatever, get off.
Yeah.
Parked in terminal top parking. Walked straight there.
Yeah.
From the time the plane's wheels touched ground to the time I exited through parking payment.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
Very intimate.
Because fuck everybody that tries to go through the goddamn e-pass things and they don't have e-pass or they didn't e-pass in or they didn't e-pass out. And it's like, you're in the wrong lane. And why is your shit not working? And then everything's backed up.
Agreed. Well, here's my problem. Because I pulled out of the parking lot 14 minutes after the hour, they charged me 4 days, and I was there less than 72 hours.
Ooh, okay.
They go by the calendar day. If you pull out of that lot 14 minutes after midnight, it's a whole nother day. And I was irritated at that.
Okay.
Things like that, when they have like 24-hour parking, it should be 24 hours. Because in theory, if I parked at 11:30 p.m. and left at 12:15 a.m., so if I was at the airport for 30 minutes, it's 2 days parking.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody needs to get punched into the dick over there.
Well, 30 minutes is free, to be fair. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I do that all the time because when I drop people off at the airport, I do. And this is honestly, we should not be talking about terminal top parking.
Yeah, and then stop talking.
We should not advertise
Stop
it.
talking about it.
But that's what I do when I drop people off. I TT, and then you swing down, and then you let people go, and then you swing back up and you leave. Yeah, fuck that.
Because
it's easier. It's actually faster to TT and do it. The amount of morons that are backed up and curbside.
As busy as that airport is now, they close the part that you have to go to satellite parking. I've almost missed flights because I got there and they're like, no, you can't park there. You got to park like 3 miles up the road and then wait for a bus, and then the bus will bus you back over.
I haven't had that yet. But okay. Yeah.
3 times.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, that was my trip. That was my week.
That's pretty amazing.
Are we talking much about what we're doing in 8 days?
Daytona?
Yeah.
Maybe. We should leave that as a cliffhanger for next week or when we go up to Giuseppe's.
Yeah. We got to figure out, because with the travel and everything, the next couple of weeks are a little weird.
They are.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. Listeners, we've got a lot going on. We could probably, we'll have to figure out something for next Friday's episode.
Yeah.
Maybe we'd finally do the Dear Rum and Nerdy.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe, yeah.
Feels like
one
night
idea.
next week.
Yeah.
And then for the week of Inspire.
Like Monday night.
This coming Monday, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we do Dear Rum and Nerdy next week, then next week when we're in Daytona, over the weekend, we record the following Friday, which is when we're at Inspire and Gala.
Yeah, we could record with some of the talent from the thing.
Yeah. And then while we're inspired, because then it just kind of staggers it.
Yeah.
Instead of it's these last minute ones.
No, I like it.
Will be the week ahead.
That's fine.
So that'd be fun. You've been warned.
We got shit going on. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And you got a trip this weekend?
I do. I'm going to be on it. I'm already checked in for a flight tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going back to the motherland.
The land of cheese and beer.
I am taking my daughter to the land of cheese and beer to meet family that she
Can
has
you
never
bring me
met.
back some cheese curds? Not really. That doesn't travel well.
I can bring back cheese curds.
I was just kidding. It doesn't
Are you
travel.
sure? Are you sure?
The funny thing is, you're going to do it now anyway.
Oh yeah.
Probably. I don't really want them.
What's really fun is when you fly out of Wisconsin, the two things that they sell on the other side of airport security are cheese curds and spotted cow beer.
Ah, yeah. I
Want
remember.
some
I
spotted
haven't
cow?
tried it. But
Spotted cow. You never tried spotted cow?
No, but you showed it to me and told me all about it when we were up there.
Showed it to. Here's this thing I won't let you try.
Well, no, it wasn't that you didn't let me. It's just I was like, I'm right now.
Yeah.
We were rumming it up on that trip.
We were. Well,
In
the
the Sprecher.
next time we were in the. I can't believe we went to Wisconsin and didn't drink beer.
Maybe we did. I know because I know we went to that German restaurant where we ate outside and it was like tater tots covered in cheese. And pretzel
On
bites
Water
covered in
Street.
cheese. Yeah.
On Water Street, downtown Milwaukee.
And then we had brats covered in cheese.
It's fucking
might have had it
Wisconsin.
there.
You get beer covered in cheese. You can get anything covered in cheese.
Can I get cheese covered in cheese? I'm going to get mozzarella sticks.
Could I get
covered
some
in cheese.
bacon to dip into the cheese? That would be great.
Oh, but I will say that the breakfast at the conference,
Yeah.
they had the big Cambro thing, warmers for breakfast.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
opened one up, and it was mounded, like you could barely close it, mounded with bacon. And I thought, oh, I miss Garrick.
Oh.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Every time I think of heart disease, your name comes up.
Yeah. I can't think if there was anything else. It was funny, like on Tuesday night, a lot of people had like business meetings, dinners, and stuff like that. And there was a few of us. I was going around and like everybody was like, "Dude, I'm sorry, I've got like a meeting. I can't we've got a dinner meeting. I can't invite you." I'm like, "Dude, no, that's fine. Like, I kind of want something laid back." But I went around and was asking everybody, it's like, "Hey, if you don't have plans, we're doing a stragglers dinner," and it was Val, Chloe from TEA, and Sean, formerly with JRA. We don't like to use last names. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I've like been on work calls and conferences that he's been in, but I haven't just hung out with him.
Yeah.
And we had the best conversation.
That's awesome.
Just talking like, like kind of like benchmarking, talking to each other. It's like, what's your favorite attraction in the world? And I was like, it's Pirates in Shanghai. That's freaking awesome. Or maybe Rise of the Resistance, but Shanghai's pretty badass. And then Poi de Fu and talking about, and just really having great conversations about attractions.
Nice.
Really insightful, really casual, drinking some Guinness.
That's awesome.
And Yard House has killer orange chicken.
The Yard House? Like the Yard House?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They've got really killer orange chicken.
Didn't realize.
One of my favorites.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So we're all caught up. We're now. You're welcome.
Yay.
Yeah. So let's. I know you're flying out in the morning. You go pack. Pack.
Yeah, I got to go back.
Okay. Well, let's wrap this up then, and we'll go from there. And yeah.
You forgot how this goes, don't you?
No, I was just thinking like if there's anything else we want to cover before we get in, because once we get there, it's time to end.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So you can't
You can unend.
Yeah.
We've derailed the ending many times.
You can unscrew a light bulb, but you can't unscrew a pregnant lady.
You're gonna melt all of this stuff.
I think we've talked about this. You know that movie, which is fantastic. My Blue Heaven.
The sequel to Goodfellas?
It wasn't the sequel.
It was a sequel to Goodfellas.
It wasn't the sequel. It wasn't. It was written at the same time. They were released within a month of each other.
It was written at the same time by the same guy about the same dude.
Wrong.
What?
The guy that wrote Goodfellas, his wife wrote My Blue Heaven.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same guy.
Okay, fine.
It's about this.
It's about the same
about
dude.
The same character.
It's about the
but she's
same
like,
dude.
I'm like, she was a different style of writer, and her husband was doing this. She's
Ray
like,
Liotta and Steve Martin. It's the same dude.
Yeah. It's just they weren't written as a sequel. It was two
wasn't.
different takes, and she wrote comedy scripts and he wrote dramatic scripts, and I think she just kind of like, let me give this thing a whirl.
You can melt all of this stuff. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that movie.
Unfuck you or something. Anyway.
I suck at apologies. Yeah, so go and fuck yourself or whatever.
Which one of Steve Martin's bests.
Yeah,
I
love it.
love the guy. Anyway, now officially, since we're done and we're at now, big thank you to Dave Martin.
DemoDavePro.com.
We're going to see him in LA in 15 days. I'm so excited. So, love you. Then you can check us out on our website, rumandnerdy.com.
That's what that's called, yeah.
andnerdy.com.
Social media is at Rum and Nerdy. Most platforms, also A&D.
Yeah, and you can email us at show@rumandnerdy.com.
Apparently, you can still ask us a question for the Ask Rum and Nerdy segment because we still haven't fucking
Yeah,
gotten
but
around
you
to
got
that
like
one.
this weekend. We got to get that wrapped up.
You say that. It's probably going to be like 6 months from now. We're
Yeah,
still going
probably
to be
will.
like, Brr, you know what? If you haven't...
Hey, listen. It's right now. It's Thursday night. If we're going to record on Monday, that's time. I'll give it my sum.
Your sum?
I won't give it my all. I have other shit to do, but I'll give it my sum, and we'll see about that.
It gets an ish.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be Monday. But
Yeah.
you guys it'll be for you. It'll be a week. And some of you guys that like listen to this in 6 months, you'll listen to this one immediately.
Immediately after. Like, yeah, that's just the one.
Because we're hilarious and you're binging us right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You've got a report due, and this is the white noise in the background is us.
Someone's doing a report.
Yeah.
That would be...
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I did get a message. We'll leave on this.
Okay.
So apparently, Scott and Christina were on a road trip up to Savannah.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where we had referenced, they were listening to an episode where we referenced Scott just spit coffee on the dashboard.
Yeah.
And she looks over at him because he's driving and was like, yeah, you probably would have, except you're not drinking coffee. But she's like, yeah, you would have laughed because your laugh was it would have been a spit take.
That's awesome.
So apparently she has validated our guess.
That's
within
amazing.
reason.
That's amazing.
Anyway, that's all I got.
There you go.
Love you guys.
Stay nerdy, my friends.
Well, I dig on it down about an hour ago. Took a look around, they went and made a wind blow. With a little girl in a Hollywood bungalow. Are you a lucky little lady in the city of light? Or did you know the lost angel? City of night, city of night, city of night, city of night. Woo! Oh!
It occurs to me that a 500 megaton bomb planted at just the proper point would destroy most of California. Millions of innocent people would be killed. The West Coast, as we know it, would fall into the sea. Bye-bye, California. Hello, new West Coast, my West Coast. Costa del X, Lutherville, Marina del X, Otisburg. Otisburg?
Who's this monster? She's got her own place, man.
Otisburg?
It's a little bitty place.
Otisburg?
Okay, I just wipe it off, that's all.